The adventure genre is the second most generic game genre, including most games, and mobile gaming is the biggest gaming platform in the world. 2023 has some really exciting games coming out, some of which few people know about. So in this video, I'm going to tell you the top 10 mobile adventure games of 2023. The first and best adventure game for 2023 is Assassin's Creed Codename Jade. When Ubisoft announced this game, it was clear that they are wanting to make this a top game. Assassin's Creed is of course already a successful series, but they are stepping it up for this mobile release in two main ways. First, the devs say that they have been able to capture the traditional and classic Assassin's Creed gameplay style while translating that to the touchscreen controls of the phone. This is incredible news because even though the touchscreen is intrinsically more intuitive than console or PC, it has been hard for devs to make it work in games without making it stiff, covering too much of the screen, or ruining the gameplay in some other way. The second big change Ubisoft is making is that for the first time in the history of the series, players will be allowed to create and customize their own assassin protagonist. This has never been done, and personally I always thought it was a little weird that they never allowed it. So those are the two big changes in combination with the series' historic proclivity towards excellence, and the game's new ancient Chinese setting during the Qin Dynasty is in my opinion a recipe for the #1 adventure game of the year. The second game on the list is Just Cause Mobile. I had this game as #2 last year, and while it did kind of come out and is kind of doing well, it only came out in a few countries, and I think it will get a lot of hype when it finally releases globally. The game is labeled as an action shooter, which might make you wonder why I put it in the adventure game genre. And while I will probably also put in some of my other videos, the reason why I think it will be attractive to adventure gamers is because of the types of game modes it is offering. The game features a longer action-packed story campaign and 4-player co-op missions, which capture that adventure feel. But even more than that, its 30-person competitive multiplayer is set up in such a way that even it feels a little bit more like an adventure than your normal AAA game. All 4 game modes are completely free to play. It has high quality 3D graphics powered by Unreal Engine 4, integrated voice chat, and responsive touch controls. But the thing that truly sets this game apart is its unique movement system, which allows you to use buildings and terrain to continually switch between grappling, parachuting, and using your wingsuit. The bonus game for this video is Zling. Right now, K-pop is exploding popularity, and Zling is in many ways the Guitar Hero or Dance Dance Revolution of K-pop. Pairing you with some of the best choreographers in K-pop, Zling allows you to use a Bluetooth wristband and tracks your movement to determine how well you are keeping up with your K-pop sensei. The game is difficult. I really struggled to keep up with the teacher, and within only 30 minutes I was starting to pour sweat. This goes into the second thing that I love about Zling, which is that it is a great workout. I personally love workout games because I can have fun while getting in shape, but most of those games are either on the Oculus or Xbox Connect, so Zling is especially nice because all you need is the wristband. Though, like I said, it is very difficult, and I hope someday they will add a slow motion option for those of us that struggle to keep up. The app is completely free with all of its choreography, but you do need to buy a wristband, so if that sounds interesting to you, I have put links in the description and pinned comment on where to download the game and get that wristband. The third game is Project W by Xiaojiao. I am so excited about this game. One of the first games I got addicted to as a kid was a game called Baldur's Gate, and this game reminds me of that one. As you explore the open world, you will be able to find all kinds of side quests and items as you build your perfect team with their different skills, hopefully in a way that they support each other. When you run into enemies, the game switches to turn-based combat, allowing you to manage each of your characters to maximize their effectiveness as a team. Some of you may be thinking, I can see how this game is on the list because of the elements of open world adventure, but isn't this a classic RPG? And the answer is yes, this game will probably also make it high on that video. I am very excited about this game, and while I try to limit how much of my personal biases affect these lists, sometimes I just can't help it. Hopefully you guys will enjoy this game as much as I will. The fourth game on the list is Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis. Honestly, in my opinion, Square Enix has been failing to get Final Fantasy on the phone. They have had several ports of their old games that haven't done that great, and then their most recent Final Fantasy VII The First Soldier was a flop at launch because of bugs, and then now they're getting backlash for already shutting it down. Nevertheless, I think this game will do well for a few reasons. First, unlike First Soldier, the game will be following the same genre as the original 1997 version of Final Fantasy VII, which will not only make it easier to capture the original glory of the game, but it is also easier to eliminate bugs in a single-player game. Second, we all live and learn, and Square Enix just got their fair share of learning. Final Fantasy VII was one of the goats of gaming, so I have a feeling it will do well when it releases. The fifth game is Soul Knight Prequel. For those of you who don't know, the original Soul Knight, released in 2017, is one of the best action-adventure games on the mobile platform, period. The game has over 100 million downloads, has kept a 4.5 star rating with over 1 million reviews, and has the Editor's Choice signification from Google Play. It is an incredible game, and if you haven't tried it out, you definitely should. Those of you who have already tried it out will be happy to know that Chili Room has been working on making a new 2.5D role-playing action-adventure mobile game using the same universe. In fact, their plan is to add more storyline to introduce the backstory of the characters found in the original Soul Knight game. The game is already in closed beta and receiving good reviews. Players have been particularly excited about all of the Easter eggs that are put in there for players of the original game. So I cannot emphasize enough that if you like action-adventure games, you will want to get into this series. The sixth game on the list is Mini World. This game is already out and is basically a Minecraft copycat, but they have found a way to succeed with their ability to organize and categorize their mini-games, or realms, so to speak. The games players make are generally put in 3 categories: PvP, parkour, and puzzles. The PvP is pretty good in a very Minecraft way. Things are simple, but there's enough complexity that things feel a tad different each time. The parkour was not really my thing, but I could see why others like it, and the puzzles was definitely not my thing, and I judge all of you that like that kind of stuff. Okay, I'm just kidding. There were some really interesting puzzle mystery maps, but still really wasn't my thing. Then, if those game types aren't your thing or you're getting bored of them, you can do survival mode, which is basically a free Minecraft. I'm not sure how they get away with stuff like this, but I'm just the messenger. The 7th game is Clash Heroes. I put this as number 1 last year, and it hasn't come out yet, so theoretically it should be higher on this list, but for whatever reason it was feeling like old news this time around, so I kept it lower on the list. Supercell is a big company with a big name, so this game will get a lot of downloads, but obviously in these videos I'm trying to anticipate how popular the game will be among serious gamers. The reason I think this game will be somewhat popular among serious gamers is because it is going to be kind of a unique game for the mobile phone. Clash Heroes looks like it's going to be kind of a Minecraft Dungeons game, which there's not a lot of those, and I think it's going to do really well on the mobile phone because it doesn't have a lot of time commitment each time you play. Now, I do think this game will be more casual than a lot of the other games I usually put on these lists, mainly because Minecraft Dungeons is still a little bit more of a casual game than some of the other games, but also because it's Supercell, and Supercell has had a tendency to make more casual games. I'm also keeping an eye on Clash Quest, which might have an adventure feel to it as well. The 8th game on the list is Harry Potter Magic Awakened. With the smashing success of Harry Potter Hogwarts Mystery last year, game developers are eager to capitalize on this interest. However, this time bigger game companies like WB Games and NetEase have bought the rights to see if they can produce even better results. The game is technically an immersive collectible card game, but plans to have MMO, RPG, and adventure elements integrated throughout. Honestly, I'm not sure how I feel about these giant game companies putting so much effort in a game like this, because sometimes I wonder if it's precisely the low-keyness of the original game that attracted people to it in the first place. But I'm interested to see what they come up with and how the mobile gamer player base responds. The 9th game is Little Nightmares. Scary games are a trend in some circles, and Prodigious is one of the best companies in the world at porting games over to the mobile phone. They always keep the original feel of the game, create awesome and intuitive touchscreen controls, and leave behind little to no bugs at all. So when I saw that Prodigious was porting this game over to the phone, I had to make sure it was on the list. The last game is Spine, which looks amazing, and the devs are claiming it will be as amazing as it looks, but it is low on this list due to the lack of gameplay released. The design of this game is to make you feel like an action hero with incredible mobile reflexes that let you do things like kick the gun out of your opponent's hand or parry a bullet with your katana, which of course sounds amazing. And the concept makes sense in the game as your character is genetically modified through the spinal cord to do these amazing things. But I'm curious how they're going to implement it so that I feel like I'm the one with fast reflexes doing these things. So there's a lot of promise to this game, and I will keep my eye on it. Okay, so those are the top 10 mobile adventure games of 2023, but I do have 3 more honorable mentions for you. The first one is Roco Kingdom, which is an open world monster taming mobile MMORPG being made by Tencent. The game looks great and has a Genshin Impact feel to it, but I had so many other games on my list that this one just got forced down. The second honorable mention is New Dawn. This game looks awesome as well. I love its art style, and while I think it will probably have a great sense of adventure, I think it will be more attractive to players as a survival game. If you want to know more about this game, make sure to check out my video on the top 10 mobile survival games of 2023. The last honorable mention is Full Metal Alchemist. This game is getting quite a bit of hype as a well-done anime RPG with beautiful animations and an interesting storyline. It was on my list the whole time, but at the end of the day, it didn't make it to the top 10. Well, that's it, guys. If you do not see a game on here that you think should be on here, it is probably because I put it in a different genre like RPGs, survival, action, MMOs, or something else. Honestly, the adventure genre is so broad it can bleed into so many other categories, so I might have put them in another video. Some of those videos are already out and the rest will be out very soon. Alright guys, I'll see you next time.